What are some of the first, I guess, first few tips and tricks that you offer students around learning how to study?
But one of the main things is you need to know your basics. You need to know your foundations. If you don't know your foundation, you get in trouble. For example, it's funny because I just posted something. I had a student and I gave her a problem. We were working with, um, what was it, like scientific notations, right? And I showed her a problem and she looked at it like, oh my gosh. And I said, let's take it slow. Let's take it a smaller notch. And so we started small. And then all of a sudden she felt relief because I saw her face like, what is this? Like, oh my goodness. But then when we took it, now she knows it forwards and backwards. So you have to know your basic foundations for everything. Otherwise, in math, it builds, everything builds. And
Mhm.
my number one question from students, when am I going to use this in life? And when I respond, I say, you know what? Your parents are still using math. When they go to the grocery store, they're using math. When they have to figure out their monthly bills, they're using math. I'm like, math is never leaving you. And they're like, really? Oh, well, I want to fly a plane. You need math to fly a plane. And
Lots of math.
I do. But the shock is they don't realize, when
Mhm.
everything is so simple. They don't realize, down the line how much math they're going to go through, but how much math they actually need, you know?
Do you feel like, at least this is my feeling in some instances, that they're moving kids through the system very quickly and they may move past the foundation before they're ready? What are your thoughts around that?
So some schools, what they do is when they have tutoring, they're teaching you what they're learning now.
Mm.
I had a seventh grader, did great. She knows the steps for algebra, for linear equations, but she didn't know her multiplications. So what the school is not going to do is backtrack to where the gaps are. That's where we come in. Um, I fill in the gaps prior to, you know, moving on to what they're doing. Because if they don't know, I mean, she told me, Miss Lisa, I know how to do algebra, and she showed me the steps. She knew how to do it. But when you're taking a time test in class and you only answer, 25 to 50% of them, they're all correct. That's still a 25 to 50% that you got right out of the whole test. So they don't teach what's missing. And if you're in seventh grade, I know for sure the school's not going to go back to third grade to teach your multiplication. So some of the schools will do the tutoring, but only on what topic they're learning at that particular point. You have to find out what the gaps are.
Mhm.
Evaluations I do, and I can tell you this is what's missing. This is what they need to focus on in order to learn their grade level math that they're learning now.